And I think we're live. Hello, everybody. Yes. Welcome to Season 3 of Fighter Subscriber. It's been a while. Sorry it's been so delayed. But today we start on our journey to see who will be crowned the champion this time around. Of course, we've had Junamoose, the champion of Season 1, Daniel Garcia, the champion of Season 2. Will one of those two win it again, or will it be someone new? We've upgraded to 1.9 for this. I'm just going to bring up the Discord there. Someone's still speaking on the Discord. Why is that? Get over here. How are we all in the chat? How's everybody doing? Let us just bring up our little competition window here. Can everybody hear me in the chat? Mic is on. Are you there? Anybody? Everybody's died at their computers. Project Velocity is still live streaming, and how incredibly rude of him. Okay, 12 concurrent viewers, 6 likes, lots of concurrent viewers just to start with. If somebody could give me a shout in the comments section, by the way, because I'm getting a little worried now. Do I need to call an ambulance or something? We'll press on regardless. So yes, welcome to this first fight of Fight a Subscriber. Project Velocity in the on the Discord. Okay, yes, we're all good. Worried about potential technical problems. So for these preliminaries, we will be putting up subscriber craft. We've had 35 entries so far, so I think I'm going to have to put a lid on that reasonably quickly. Really, I can't see the chat. What is wrong with you? Am I going to have to refresh this? There we are! I do apologise. Sorry. I do apologise, everybody. For some reason my chat comments wasn't working. It's like, either I've got a serious technical problem or a lot of people have just dropped down a coronavirus. Yes, anyway. Preliminaries, the principle is very simple. We take our subscriber craft, we put them into a series of battles, series of 2v2s against my Cyclones. Then, once we've got a couple of these done, basically, as we go along, I'll be judging them on combat performance, but also how good a design I think they are generally. I'll be looking for input from you guys, and then after we've got a couple of these done, we'll start to think about doing some of the proper episodes. I should have an idea of who sort of made it through. It's not going to be solely based on how they do in combat. There will be some other things thrown in there as well. Yeah, Mr. Happy Face, we're getting a bit full. We're going to need to do, well, 6 of these preliminaries as it is. And I already know there's a couple. We've got 35, and I already know there's craft incoming from a couple more people. So today we'll be looking through 6 subscriber craft, putting them into the dogfights, and we'll see how we go. This is sort of a test run. We've never really done this before. Do I have a list for who is up to date? Yes, I do. To start with, we have The XF1 Gladius by Kelvis Manos. After that, we will be looking at the LR5A Bearcut by Luge Run. The F15 by Joshua Lee will be followed by the T216 2020 by MHD. The KX42-3 Inquisitor by Ehrlich. And we'll be finishing off with one of the channel big names, the MRI-2 Archer Mark 1 by Juna Moose. Right, anyway, I think we should probably get this going. I've already F5'd. Just so we can... Oh, that's loud. I'm going to turn that down. That's better. Just means it's not too loud for me. You guys, it should be the same. Tell me if the volumes... if you've got volume problems. Not today, dearest gamer. As I said, we do have... There's going to be... At the moment, there's probably going to be about 6 of these. So, my apologies for those of you who wanted to see your craft up in the first one, but I had to... I'm having to try and pace myself. It's a bit quiet, but it's not going to be quiet for very long, trust me. Anyway, let's get this first one going. So yes, the XF1 Gladius by Kelvis Manos, a drone. I like this. Oh, Jesus, that was close. I like this. It's kind of got a very sleek look to it. As I said, please input from you in the comments about the craft in question. I see it's called F1A. It is Leggedlack's balanced, retweaked version of my Cyclones. I've gone and seen how... I went and saw how they performed earlier today. I've done a bit of retweaking myself. Basically because they were just getting shredded left, right and centre. But no, there should be a few interesting fights. Not for the preliminaries. It's not 2v2 for the preliminaries. It's sort of a matter of time. I want to get a large quantity of fights. That's a lot of missiles going in for one craft, but the Gladius manages to dodge them. How are the Cyclones doing? Still looking pretty good. Can you pair my Jaguar with the F-53? At the moment, it's just one craft per subscriber. For this season, it will be one craft per subscriber per thingy. Oh, and that's one of the Gladiuses taken out by one of the Cyclones. It's all on this little Gladius now, as that Cyclone, very luckily for it, manages to dodge the missile that was coming in. Oh, but this Gladius did not dodge that missile. That one came in a bit close, but didn't do much harm, and this one will surely finish the job. Okay. And we go again. As I said, it's not just combat performance here. Because these fights can be a tricky thing. I'm repeating the fight a few times just to give me a feel for how the craft performs, but it's also going to be it's going to be a few criteria, as I said, how well I think the craft flies in general. You know, the design job. It'll be personal judgment, but certainly combat performance here will be a factor. So yes, round 2. And let's get them going. Hopefully we won't have a near miss like we did previously. I've set them apart. They should be flying apart from each other. Except they're not. Just very gently getting closer and closer. As I said, the sleekness of this aircraft, I do like it. I do like the little row of countermeasures along the back, the way the missiles are just slung under the body there. And also that little overwing and underwing, I think is a very nice touch. And once again, we're into the missile tennis. I'm just going to start making notes. Oh! And that's bad news straight out the gate. So it'll be down to see whether this Gladius can actually pull off some heroics. If they can get an AMRAAM away at one of these craft that are closing in. Oh, and there go the guns as well. That looks like that might have done some damage. Yes, it has. It has taken out the Cyclone. The other Gladius crashes into the ground. No, that was that other Gladius. That was the Gladius upon whom all hopes were pinned. Has now gone crashing out. But one of the Cyclones certainly disabled before it managed it. So I will be counting that as a kill in its favour. Does it count if it spins out of control and flicks shots a missile at the other jet? That'd be quite good. They only launch one missile at a time. Spacey boy, which one was your jet? We're doing okay for time, actually. Let's see this from the perspective of the Cyclones. Shaggy, I just put a new one in with more Sidewinder. I will make a note of that somewhere. I have made a note of that, which is absolutely no guarantee that I'll remember, by the way. Here we go then for the third round of this little competition here. Missiles back and forth as usual. Let me just check. No, nobody crashed into each other. I'm still worried about those Gladiuses. It's just like twice they've come pretty close. For those of you who don't get, for those of you who've missed out, maybe Happy Face, for example. Alex, nice to see you. Happy Face, don't worry, there will be plenty more subscriber-themed madness. As I said, this is probably going to be the last one in this particular format. One of those Gladiuses looks pretty dead. Yeah, wasn't really moving. And that's both of them. And shredded. No, actually. But as I said, in this particular format, because it's just... Because, I mean, when we were doing Season 2, everything was just about right. I'll see what I can do, Spacey Boy. because as I said, for season 2, the numbers were just about perfect. We had to. I think some people narrowly missed out on getting in, but now the subscriber numbers are picking up further, which is brilliant. It means this isn't really feasible. Doing things like this isn't ideal. So I've got to think of something else to do that's basically not going to be too much of a rip-off of something that's come before. Or I might just say to hell with it and launch my new show, Jet Fighter Showdown. Eep, eep, eep! Nothing broke. Okay. So this is the 4th one. We're doing really well for time. I was worried it might take us a while to get through these. But it's turning out all right. I wanted to do... I was thinking 4, maybe 5 fights, but I think we'll go for 5 apiece. So this fight, then the next one, then we'll move on to the next craft. She can SPAA on the ground. Have you tried changing the takeoff speed? Interestingly, there, Jet Fighter Showdown, you've piqued my interest. Ooh, that was... Where was that coming from? The Gladius is getting guns down. If we can bring those guns to bear, that could be... That's not enough. Cyclone spirals out of control, maybe terminally. But one of the Gladiuses is now out. I think that damaged the Gladius too much. Hang on, is the other Cyclone gone? The other Cyclone's been taken out. Two kills and a death. So the Gladiuses pull one back. KSP United, hello! Japan intensifies. Yeah, high five. Tactical bro fist, as I think Tape Gaming once called it. Okay, the 5th and final fight with the Gladiuses. Gladii? Let's not start that again. Would you stop bouncing? I think if I just stick that up to 1.5, it normally does the trick. There we go. I know you're excited to get off the ground, guys. And just gradually, there we go. Everybody on, everybody ready. It looks like it. Actually, let's get this Gladius. Because you're pointing, I've got you roughly pointing where I want you to point. Is the other one the problem? I'm going to point you a little bit this way. I'll re-quick save that. Right. One final time for the Gladiuses. It's a nice craft. I did like flying it. It seems to have been very vulnerable to the missile kills today, though. Go with the kamikaze pilots. A few good old-fashioned hand-to-hand kills wouldn't go amiss. No tactical boot this time, I am afraid. How is everybody getting on? Okay, this Gladius appears to be doing well at avoiding those missiles. This Gladius is a bit tail-end on, and that can be fatal. But no, appears to have sorted itself out. Doesn't get its own barrage of missiles away. Its wingman does, though. Now, surely. Closing the distance. The Cyclone popping countermeasures. Oh! But not enough countermeasures. Oh, and that is quite brutal. Daffy Kerman, good luck trying to control that. The last remaining Cyclone. 2 Gladiuses now on its tail, unless they're distracted, and Jebediah can pull something out of the bag pretty quickly. Yeah, they are distracting. Daffy Kerman is distracting the other Gladiuses as she helicopters down towards the ground, giving that other Cyclone the chance to come in and try and put guns onto one of the Gladiuses. That is dangerous stuff. And if that is a Sidewinder, that may prove fatal. Just the guns pouring in there. It doesn't seem to have been... No, the Gladius doesn't seem to have been fatally wounded. Both look to be in good health. This was the one that was damaged, or had the explosion near it. Lost a bit of wing surface, but nothing major at the moment. Hang on, did I didn't turn the ECM jammers on. So I'm going to have to go and do this off camera again. Yeah, that other Gladius. Let's just finish this fight. We'll see what the result is. But as I said, I may need to repeat this all off camera. Oh, for God's sake! Lone Wolf, good to see. Oh, okay, that was a conclusive result. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Damn it all. How are we doing? 23 minutes. So that probably took us about 20 minutes to do that. Yeah, that's looking good. So next up, we have the LR5A Bearcut by Lugeron. And the craft are bouncing again. What I'm going to do is I am going to fix that. And then I'm going to quick save. Okay. So, yes, the LR5A Bearcut by Lugeron. And Lugeron, if you're watching, I did find some slight rule-breaking features to this craft. I have adjusted it so that it's no longer No longer a problem, but you're a naughty, naughty boy. Let's get them taking off. Let's see how these ones get on. As once again, any input, any of your input into these craft would be most welcome. Let's get this one going, and I will turn on the ECM jammers as these guys are taking off. The Forbes Swept Wing, once again, reminiscent of the Su-47. The tailplane, diagonal tailplane, all-in-one tailplane, tail section I should say. A little less conventional, but I am looking forward to seeing how these things perform in proper combat. How are we doing? 7.5 kilometres. It's like my phantom of it. What was the problem? What was the issue? There was a turret on there I took out, and also some of the parts had their armour value increased. So a little bit of during a spot check, I noticed there were a few issues with it, so I just corrected it. It's got to the stage where if I see something like that, I'm just gonna correct it myself, and we'll call that done. Missiles still going back and forth. Everybody been pretty good at dodging, but not for too much longer. One of the Cyclones is taken out. It's a kill for the Bearcuts. More missiles flying in. This one remaining Cyclone. Jebediah Kerman again, who's going to have something of a torrid time that manages to get the missile away, but doesn't manage to avoid that one. Where can I find the rules? I'm not really familiar with what's allowed. Rules are currently on the Discord. I should put them up elsewhere. If you go back to any of my other Fighter subscriber videos, you'll see that there's a list of rules. They've changed a bit. The gist is still the same. I'll probably, once this stream is done, I'll put the rules up in the description. If that's okay. Let's get this going right away, and we will turn on those ECM jammers. So yeah, for those of you, I was saying earlier before, kind of got distracted, for those of you who want to submit more than one different, well, if you want to submit different crafts to fight at the same time, there will be a series coming after this one, which might be right up your alley. That's all I'll say for now. Competition starting, everybody turns around and, well, launches their missiles eventually. 2 per target per craft, I think, at the moment, on both sides. Later on, there is a craft that is just total missile spam mode. That Cyclone has had a lot of missiles coming for it, but managed to get out of it alive. That does mean one of these other Cyclones is kind of free to close the distance and open up with its guns. But no, I think that now has some. I think that now has the attention of some of these Bearcuts as well. That one going in, that looks pretty dangerous there. Oh, nothing doing for the moment though. These Bearcuts nearly out of the AMRAAMs. Missiles coming back in. No kills so far. looks like... Is that debris? That is one of the Bearcoots out of here. So not as one-sided as that first fight might have you believe, and that is gunfire raining in, stripping Valentina Kerbal of her parts. Oh, brutal. Like using life support mods when you do decide to continue the journey. Ghost! Ghost, good to see you. Peppered, ouch, indeed. Using life support mods when the journey series actually resumes, I'm not sure. I probably won't go for the life support. I think I'll probably keep things as they are, because then in the future there's going to be more regular Kerbal series. But I think I'll keep this one as it is through to the end, and then the next time we'll certainly look at doing something with something like TAC life support or what have you. Let's do this middle one through the perspective of the cyclones. Oh, and yes, let's turn on the ECM jammers before I forget. Having considered some of the community tech trees. I mean, I've got community tech tree installed on that save, and I've got, there's mods aplenty. But I don't think I want to alter the mod list too much, because I mean they're separate series, but they're sort of a continuation of the other. So it's a continuation of each other. So we'll have to see. And of course, if I do a follow-up to The Journey Continues, and that will probably take us up to the launch of KSP2, which I've got to start saving for. I have no idea how much it will cost, but anyway, missiles going back and forth, no debris flying. It looks like that might be coming a bit close. Nothing doing for the moment. How's the other Bearcoot getting on? Missile flies past its tail. Valentina Kerbal can now come around and get away some missiles of her own, although she seems to be having a little bit of difficulty. Is she not missing any wing surfaces? Just appears... no, just dodging missiles. They are both split at the moment, though. These two LR5As, and that proves fatal. Proves deadly for one of the LR5As. Valentina Kerbal will need to make this a very quick revenge kill. That missile goes soaring past, and she will soon have that cyclone on her tail, no doubt. That missile fails to do anything. It is not looking good for this second round. Getting missiles away, though. The Sidewinders at close range, and those can be deadly. And that is one of the low, but manages to pull up. Daffy pulling hard around. No missiles left. Will be coming in with guns. Unless, of course, Valentina has any missiles. No, it's a good old-fashioned joust. Valentina does have some Sidewinders left. If she can come about and get one of these away, that might be just what she needs, but has to break off. The Cyclone closed the distance too quickly, and now she has the Cyclone on her tail. It is advantage Cyclones for the moment. Breaking low. Bit of a game of chicken with the Cyclone. No, the Cyclone is stuck to her tail. Gunfire keeps raining in. Oh, that has gotta hurt. Not deadly. Will affect stability quite a lot. Loses some more stuff. A battle of attrition going on here. Valentina Kerman has to be careful. Is in a lot of danger of spinning out with her craft like this. Oh, that looks a bit deadly. That could be dangerous. Gunfire rains in. Can Daffy take advantage? Yes! Just about. Still got the one engine, still got the one wing. Valentina will go down kicking and screaming, but I think she's going to go down nonetheless. Three fights down, 2 to go. Why the infinite ammo when fuel is limited? Where are we? Can we find the craft file? Why the infinite ammo when fuel is limited? It's just I had to make a decision about, you know, what each thing brought to the table, and I decided infinite ammo was probably a good thing. I think also it's the two things that shorten the fight, because if you know you've run out of ammo, that's only going to make the fight longer. Because especially if, you know, the craft without ammo is stuck on the tail of the craft with ammo, that's always a fun thing. But also, if you don't have infinite fuel, that can shorten the fight as well. Those weren't the only reasons, but it's sort of a useful thing, and it adds to sort of the design challenge. I mean, ammo boxes aren't particularly heavy. Fuel is. I just thought this was sort of the optimum trade-off between everything. But you know, if someone disagrees, then by all means do so. I can certainly see the arguments for having turning off infinite ammo. It's also the aesthetic of it. It's just, you know, so these craft can keep fighting if needs be. But as I said, if you are very welcome to disagree with that assessment of things. Is everybody still in the air? Is everybody still flying? Missiles going back and forth, and nothing doing at the moment. The other LR-5A still looking in rude health. Explosions everywhere, but none of them counting for anything at the moment. Missiles go past Richmore Kerman's tail as he manages to loose another missile. That's looked like it might be close. Oh! And they get a little too close. And it looks like Richmore Kerman is down for the count. Might still recover it, might still prove or perhaps not. Might still prove a distraction for the other Cyclones. Oh, but no. Valentina Kerman's LR-5A has taken some pretty heavy damage as well. Popped some countermeasures, a missile comes in. Almost seems to stabilise her craft. But she can't quite get it out of that spin. Missing a lot of control surfaces. Is climbing now, though. But surely it's just a sitting duck for the Cyclones at the moment. Gets a missile away as well. Is that... That was a Sidewinder. That very nearly did some damage as well. Or was that a Sidewinder? No, I think it was an AMRAAM, and the Sidewinder came from one of the Cyclones. Oh, that is it. It's all over now. Okay, let's move on to the fifth and final fight here. Back again. Hello, DRS Gamer and Ghost. Any input on this craft? Any judgments? I mean, some people are saying they like the design. I'll make a note of that. Interesting design. Okay, fifth and final fight for the LR5A Bearcut. Let's waste no time, let's just get these going. And we will turn on the ECM jammer. So it's 3 fights to 1 for the Cyclones. Anybody care to put a bet on here? It's the final round for the LR5As. This is their fifth and final fight. We've only done 2 aircraft, and I'm going to have to do one of those again because I forgot to turn on the ECM jammers. But this has been okay. We have definitely fully assessed one of these aircraft. And next up we have Joshua Lee's F-15. Everybody doing quite well so far, just missiles going back and forth. Where is the other LR5A? Seems to be doing the same, dodging missiles, popping countermeasures. Valentina Kerman's getting a bit tail on to the that incoming vector of those missiles, which is not normally a good thing. She will need to start going a bit more perpendicular if she wants to dodge them effectively, and she does. And dodge as well. Again, these LR5As are being split apart, which is not good for them. Let's see how Richmond Kerman is doing. Breaking off for missiles. Launches one of his own. Again, popping countermeasures. It's a bit too tail on for that one. Oh, just about. No, does not manage to dodge it. It's one of the LR5As gone. I was about to say that other LR5A is distracting the Cyclones, so it might be an opportunity for this one to... But no. Oh, that is... Oh, brutal. Brutal stuff. Cyclones victorious there. From advanced cannons in front, heavy power. Early access to vids for anyone on Discord. Discord thoughts. Do a death boop. How do you feel about Scott Manley doing something similar? Well, I mean, he's done. He did something along these lines back in 2015. So I mean, there's no. And I did get a sudden surge of subscribers like a couple of days ago over a 2-day period. It was, you know, it's the most subscribers I've had in a 2-day period ever. And I was wondering what had happened. And I think it's Scott Manley had done this competition. I think it might have been, I should say, that had kind of piqued interest in BD Armory stuff, and people had gone online and gone onto YouTube and searched for BD Armory videos, and whose name pops up quite a lot if you search for BD Armory videos. So that might be one of the things. Yes, onto the F15. Let's just set up my little things here. You're going to start bouncing again. Let's take care of that. Yep. So, Joshua Lee, his F15 stole. It's a nice looking craft. You can tell a lot of thought and a lot of work has gone into this. There was a slight rules breach with this one. It's a 12 missile maximum, and this one had 14 on it. So I took off one of the sidewinders to make it 3 of each. But apart from that, a very nice looking craft. Yeah. I am liking it. Yes, no countermeasures pods on this. Or not countermeasures pods. ECM. No ECM pods on this. Unlisting videos. That's a point. Yeah, I could do unlisting videos. I have to see what we never take off sidewinders ever. I just thought, so it's 3 of each. Oh, I do apologise. I do apologise, Joshua. Sorry, it was all a bit of a rush. I can set it back up again quickly if you want. Thank you. Because the sidewinders have become more important more recently. Sorry, that's completely my fault. How are we doing for time? I can probably very quickly go and set these up again. Let me just go. Let's go to the inbox and. Where are we? Game data. And saves and sandbox, ships, space plane hangar. Sorry about this, folks. We'll be back with you very shortly. Right, let's get rid of that. Show in folder. What do we have here? Let's go bring that in. Let's bring up the live stream again. Not a problem, it's completely my fault. So if we go through, we should have the F15. Right, the outermost AMRAM. That would be that little bad boy there. Okay, that's looking good. We'll save you, we'll overwrite that. I went through, because we've just upgraded to 1.9, I went through with all the craft. And I'm going to open a window in here because I am boiling. Just as somebody drives past the house. Perfect. No, what was I saying? Ah. I remember. Yes, I was... I said because I upgraded to 1.9, I wanted to make sure that all the mods worked well, because I couldn't get them. I couldn't get all the 1.9 mods. Some of them were 1.8, so I had to double check this thing works properly. NMB, by the way, is completely out now. It just will not work with 1.9.1. So if you have submitted a craft that uses NMB, I will need a non-NMB version from you. But yeah, I did that. Who do you normally have with Valentina? It's normally Rich Mulkerman. And I just went through, and just to double check, I went through each craft and each fight once. And this is why I did a bit of retuning before the fight, because my cyclones were just getting absolutely wrecked. And it's just like, well, there's no point if every craft just kills all of my craft. There's not really any point to this, so I'm going to need to give them a bit of a retuning. Okay. No, hang on. We want to give you a slight tilt out. We want to save this. Let's go over. So, Fighter Subscriber, Season 3 Preliminaries. First preliminary, third craft. Yes. Okay. Just pretend that never happened. It's all good. So Joshua Lee's F15, everybody. It's a nice looking craft. It is a nice looking craft. Goes for the 2 AMRAM 4 Sidewinder approach. Yes, but it's a nice looking craft. I've taken them all up just for a test flight as well, and this one does fly very well. So let's get the engine started. Did I remember to F5 this? I'll just do a load game because I don't want to do it. Because if you F9 and the engines are going, sometimes it goes a bit funny. Well, let's just F5 it here and see what happens. Yeah, let's get this one going and see what happens. Just to double check again, no ECM jammer. No, we're fine. NMB works in 1.9.1 for you. I could only find the 1.8 version, and it kept crashing. Whenever it basically kept crashing KSP. So I will have to see if I can if I can work around that. And I know it was NMB because it kept hanging on NMB, and then the game's completely crashing. And then I took out NMB and only took out NMB, and everything was fine. So NMB, a nice Mark series body. It's basically a series of cockpits and parts. Oh, those missiles going very close to that F-15 that make you basically make prettier looking fighter craft, more real life looking fighter craft. But the parts, they're a little controversial because they might be considered somewhat overpowered. Getting in very close now. The Cyclones do have more AMRAAMs than the F-15s. It's 4-2. They've got a 4-2 ratio as opposed to the F-15's 2-5, and that is one of the F-15s taken out. And that is the other F-15 taken out. Designed. Yeah, as I said, the Cyclones do have more AMRAAMs, so they can keep that keeping them at a distance kind of thing for a little bit longer. What are you going to do if less than 12 fighters are winning? Well, it's not a strict point system. I'm going to take the results of the combat and also look at other factors as well, and I'm going to use that to decide on my final 12. Oh, everything was fine. Okay, let's get this one going. Oh, that looked very close. Nothing broke. So these two F-15s got very close to each other. I just had to check nothing was damaged, and they didn't. They may have tactical booped. I have no idea. But we'll just watch this one from the point of view of the Cyclones. Because I'd be very interested to see how, the two missile strategies compare. What did it say? Have a Google doc sheet showing who's going to fight who and when. It's going to be a bit fluid as to who exactly is fighting who is fighting when, because I have a feeling I've got to try and get NMB working. I imagine some people are going to need to send me some design revisions at some point. I'm going to have to go and say, look, this really isn't going to work. I'm going to need you to make some changes here. Which I'd like to do just to give people a chance. So there's going to have to be a degree of fluidity to it. So I'm not... That looks like... Is that just missiles? It's just so much there. I thought it was debris there for a second, but no, that's very close. These F-15s getting very close to causing some damage with missiles, but Haven't managed it quite yet. Daffy Kerman closing the gap. Now they get the kill. First kill for the F-15s, and Daffy Kerman could be in a little bit of trouble. That is debris though. One of the F-15s is out at the same time. It's one-on-one. And it looks like Valentina Kerman can pull the tighter circle. So that's advantage. A little bit of damage there. Not too much though. Still carries on. No major damage by the looks of things. Gets a smattering. That F-15 stuck to her tail like glue. Another slight smattering a second ago. There we go. More damage. And the fight is done. Takes out the autopilot. Or the weapon manager or something, but that is the fight over. One apiece. Yeah, GG. That was nice. Just that tailplane, foreplane, and wing combination, just really giving it that extra maneuverability. Just really stuck there to the tail of that Cyclone. Right, and because I F5'd this when everyone had their engines going, we can just get straight back on it. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I will not be EVAing Valentina Kerman in the middle of takeoff. Really wondering how well this will do with some better tuning. I mean, I took it out just to, as I said, I did a test flight earlier off camera with all of the craft, and this one handles really nicely. So I mean, if you want to put a copy up in the on the Discord in the craft showcase on the craft showcase thread, that would be fantastic. Comes over the top, 2 AMRAAMs away. Missiles incoming. Starts breaking low and popping chaff. Oh yeah, all the craft are on Steam. Why are you doing that? Why hasn't Panda got announcements going now? I don't need announcements. I'm supposed to be on streamer mode. Never mind. Missile's still going back and forth. Yeah, the Cyclone version that's up on Steam isn't the rebalanced version. I will have to see about getting sort of the rebalanced versions up there, the tuned versions up there at some point soon. Craft's still some distance away. That Cyclone though, closing in very quickly. It's Sidewinders away there. Bit of a fight going on here though. Let's see how the other F-15 is getting on. Yeah, it has that Cyclone in its sights, but doesn't seem to be too keen to engage for the moment. Selects the Cyclone, pulls hard around. The other F-15 is gone. I did not see what happened there. This F-15 may be able to get a quick revenge kill, and then it will change, but has a bit of a problem as it has one of the cyclones on its tail. Missiles coming in. Strips it of its engines. Gunfire continues to rain in. From 2 different places. This is brutal. Oh! What happened there? Was that just a quick... No, because... Was that a missile? I didn't see that. So technically a loss for the F-15, but going out in style. Oh wow, okay. So 3 fights in with the F-15. How are we liking the format so far, by the way, guys? Just the five rapid fire fights with 1 craft before moving on to the next one. Who is fighting next? Next being whenever. It's the problem is it's the who that's the uncertain stuff bit. It's the when that I can be certain of. I mean, for today's I put 8. I loaded up 8 craft. I put 8 craft into the Space Plane Hangar directory. Let me just get this started as we go through this, because I wasn't sure who I'd be able to take through. And let's restart that then. Well, maybe let's just see how this resolves itself first. We will be restarting this one, but just yeah. So I looked through all 8, and I found that 2 of them probably were going to be no-goes for today. So as I said, the who is the flexible bit, is the fluid bit. The when is the bit I know. Brofus XXK2 flashback. Yeah, let's reload that. The performance improvements are nice with 1.9. I have noticed that. Tactical boop. How many craft are left? As I said, 35 have come in. There's 2 more that I know are coming in, and I think I'm gonna have to. So that's gonna make it 37. I'm sure there's gonna be a handful that, because I mean that happened in season 2. There's a handful that need a design revision, and the person just never gets back to me. So I'd imagine there's gonna be 2 or 3 at least that are gonna drop out. Right. And that's not what I want. But at the moment, it's looking like we're heading for 6 preliminaries of 6. 6 preliminaries of 6 fighters. Which means an average... It'll be an average... Careful. There we go. An average of 2 craft. Oh, for God's sake. Oh. As I said, yes, average of 2 per preliminary we'll be going through, but that's an average. I'm gonna, as I say, do a couple. By that point, we'll probably know who's looking like who's a really good fighter that I can safely put through, and then we'll do one regular episode with that craft, and then there'll be another preliminary. Then by that point we'll have 3 preliminaries done, so I can probably safely then say which craft could go through next. I am just gonna scoot you out a bit more, and I'm going to do the same. And you should be scooted out more. Let's just... Kamikaze pilots in World War II, colorized. It's a month now, it's a long time, but if it's necessary, that's cool. There will be... It's why I want to get some overlap going between them and the regular episodes, so that we're not waiting forever for those. Okay. No accidents over here. No accidents over here, but only just. Right. So we're only on the fourth fight here. So this and one more, and we will be moving on to the next craft. The XD the Great won't take much of your time. I think XD the Great. I think he's at heart. I think he's more of an ASCU, ACSU, whatever you call it. I think he's more of the unlimited kind of drones kind of guy. Just I get the feeling from his things. I do want to do something like that in the future. Get the ASCU or the ACSU, whatever. What is it? ASCU. I do want to do something along those lines in the future, because it's just... I think what I might do is just, for any future series of subscriber-themed stuff like this for aircraft, I'll probably tighten up the rules a shed load, and then I'll do the ASCU competition as well. Oh, Valentina's taken a bit of damage. Has lost that radome. That might be problematic. Has managed to launch 2 of her AMRAAMs, but the other 2, at the moment, not looking that good. And she's a long way out from the fight. That is not going to be good for that other F-15. And indeed it isn't, as Richmal Kerman's craft is stripped of both of its engines. Are you going to try and do the whole revenge missile thing? No. Doesn't get the chance. Valentina, though, coming in. Sidewinders selected. Can't quite get the shot away. Missing the foreplane as well. I only just noticed that. This craft is not as manoeuvrable as once it was. It's the attention. Are both Cyclones in good health? Both Cyclones are in good health, which means this F-15 probably isn't for much longer. Missiles go flying past. Valentina survives for the moment. That gunfire getting very close though. Just the one tail fin making things a little bit unstable. Gets scorched. Manages to come around though. 2 sets of gunfire though. The Cyclone's almost taking it in turns. Stripped of an engine. Not really enough control surfaces left to keep it going. We are down to 2 control surfaces and a gimbling engine. And I don't think, even for Valentina's skill, that that's gonna work out particularly well. Okay, let's go to the fifth and last fight for the F-15. Well, it depends. I mean, if it turns out that all the good craft are in this stream and they've just gotten unlucky, and then we get to the next stream and suddenly everything just explodes on takeoff. But there's still time. There is still some time. Let's get this one going. So the final fight for the F-15s, which, as I mentioned, I do want to get done because Josh is heading off to sunnier climes, I believe. It's a nice craft. It's a beautiful craft to fly. I'm just afraid the Cyclones have had the Lego black treatment, and then I did a bit of tweaking earlier, just because, as I said, in the test fights I did earlier, just to make sure 1.9 was working properly, my Cyclones were just getting minced. Missiles going back and forth now. Braking low, managing to avoid the missiles. Not really coming anywhere near the F-15s for the moment. Rich Morkerman now gets his volley away. Valentina, I think, got her volley away sometime sooner. Valentina managing to dodge those missiles. That looks like that got very close to one of the Cyclones. Yes! That is one of the Cyclones quite heavily damaged. That is one of the Cyclones just destroyed! Jebediah looses a Sidewinder. Close range Sidewinder doesn't seem to have had much of an effect there. Launching some now at this other F-15. Gunfire coming in though. Pulling some evasive manoeuvres, gets scorched. I think that lost him one of his Sidewinders. Down to just the one missile now. I'm not sure he'll even have an opportunity to get that away. Just about manages to shake that F-15. No, he hasn't. And now has the interest of two of them. An evasive roll. There's the other F-15. Other 15 has broken wide, will now be coming in. Goes for the Sidewinder. Doesn't look to have done anything. Gets scorched though. Has now lost that other Sidewinder. It's just guns if Jebediah can possibly bring them to bear. But it's not looking good. These F-15s are very manoeuvrable and they will stick to Jebediah's tail. That F-15 loses interest for a second. I'm assuming we're below the altitude floor that they're set for. More scorching. Loses a control surface. Nothing fatal for the moment. Loses another control surface. And I think the Cyclone has now lost all the control surfaces I had set up for roll. So that's not good news. And it's only a matter of time now for Jebediah Kerman. Making a very interesting go of trying to survive this. Oh! Manages the one splash. Managed to survive the first splash, but the second one... It is one he'll walk away from. Or swim away from. And both the F-15s, yep, en route health. See you later, Jove. Good to see you. Got every surface set up for roll. Yeah, dipping his toes before diving. So yeah, a good final fight for the F-15s. And now we move on to our fourth craft. If we have time, I will redo the Gladiuses on stream. But as I said, that might not be doable. We'll just have to see what the timing looks like. So, on to number 4. So this is the T216-2020 by MHD. You do realize we can sit here and watch you for 6 hours straight, right? On a Saturday night. Ah, the references, the joyous references. Okay, now as per usual, let's get our little spring dampers up. Okay, you're going to behave yourself now? Okay, let's quick save it here. It's the T216-2020. It's another drone by MHD. Again, with these two little lamps, which makes it look like an odd little face, which I'm kind of fond of. But yeah, not much else to say from that. Sorry, apart from that. Let's I really should check to see, are there any... No ECM jammers, it looks like. And given that we didn't have much trouble last time, I am going to quick save it with the engines going, and let's just get this one let's get this one going. A nice drone on these missiles. Yeah, that's MHD's design philosophy for you. But it is. I'd be very interested to see what this does. It does go for a very kind of low approach, and it is kind of super maneuverable. So it's just going backwards at the moment, but it does get those missiles off very quickly. And I think this was the one. Yes, it's on a mission to just fire everything as quickly as possible. See more missiles going away. So an interesting tactic. If it pays off, it'll pay off. If it doesn't, the craft might find itself coming up a little short on its offensive ability. Because this one is down to just the 3 AMRAAMs at the moment. I say that lower that other probe. I'll just call it probe. I can't remember the version number at the moment. That probe taken out by a missile, and this one very quickly follows. Where are we? Let's reload. Elias Schofield, hello! I think actually it's a bit of an improvement over the previous drone I got sent in by MHD. It seems to be putting up a bit more of a fight. 21 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much for everybody who's tuning in. And 14 likes as well. You beautiful, beautiful people. It's getting dark, isn't it? I think we'll do this fight and then we'll have to. Then I'll have to go turn the lights on. I should be getting the curtains, the proper curtains up in here before too long. Hopefully before, well, if it hasn't happened before the next stream, then something's gone badly wrong. But yeah, with a bit of luck, I'll be able to sort of like just. It's not too bad once I've got KSP coming up here, but that's going to fade. So hopefully I can just use the curtains to control the light a bit better and only resort to the backlight when necessary. Let's get this second fight going then. Crafted the MHD. Any comments on the craft in general, apart from, you know, that's a nice drone on your missiles, which fair. It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, that very sort of low altitude approach to things. Because I've seen plenty of craft take a high altitude approach. Oh, that really didn't work that time. Just the one, I'll call it the 216. Just the one 216 left in the fight. I mean, it is pouring everything it has at those cyclones. But it doesn't seem to have worked so far. That's a bit close. And that is stripped of its engine. More missiles. Finish the job. Let's go back to the quick saves. Just 5 missiles were flying backwards. The pilot's glasses. It's a very good point. Yeah, they are that super maneuverable. They are that super maneuverable. They can just flip backwards and then just fire missiles forwards. Yeah, it is getting pretty dark. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the light on. I'm hoping when I get proper curtains up in here, we can. It'll absorb a little bit more sound as well because they're good quality curtains. So hopefully they'll deaden a bit of the reverb that we've been getting. As per usual, I think I am going to watch one of these from the point of view of the cyclones. Let's get this one started. Engines facing in both directions so it doesn't have to turn. So into the third fight for the 216. How's that range looking? Coming up 7.5 kilometers. Be very interested to see, because just the missile spamming tactic those 216s go for is just, I mean, it is ferocious. There's just so many. I'm going to switch to the other cyclone because that's got a lot of missiles coming at it at the moment. It's going a bit face on at the moment. Oh! Both the 216s. Taken out quite quite brutally with AMRAAMs. I'm cooking breakfast and messing with Kersby at the same time. Great stream. Thank you very much. Bon appetit. Yes, I second that. Seems like tuning really is 40%. It really can be. So on to the fourth fight for the 216s. I do like these drones. I think they do represent an upgrade over MHD's craft from the last series. But as you said, I think maybe a bit of tuning would go a long way. In testing, that missile spamming strategy did manage to produce a casualty, so I wouldn't write them off just yet. They turn around, or sort of, yeah, kind of turn around. There goes another one. There goes another missile. Finally has to break off. The problem with firing, with having craft that's that super maneuverable, it can just kill your speed dead, and you just need the speed to get away from the incoming volleys. And also not to be too sort of face or tail on. And that is one of the Cyclones gone. As I said, do not write this craft off just yet. That missile looks like it was getting very close. Jebediah Kerman now has 2 of these craft to contend with. Loses the last of his AMRAAMs, I believe. Or does he? No, he's still got 2 more. What is happening there? That 216 looks like it's going very low. Oh, that was a joust. I missed that. Didn't miss the kill, though. Guns coming in. Jebediah gets scorched again. Losing control surfaces, losing bits. Both craft glued to his tail now. Missing a wing, and that's not looking good for Jebediah Kerman. That is all that's left of the Cyclones that's flying at the moment. The 216s do get a taste of victory as they try and finish off that little tail fin. But I think the ground's probably going to take care of that for them. Okay, the 5th and final fight. No, the pip drone, I don't think the pip drone was MHD. What colours do we have on Discord at the moment? Red, green, blue and yellow. So I mean, from a traditional RGB perspective, you've got cyan and magenta would be the only. Although the blue is kind of cyany, isn't it? Maybe a. Why no black? Maybe a magenta or a purpley colour. Okay, let's get this last fight going. 5th and final fight for the MHD 216 2020. I'm not sure how well a dark blue would stand up. I think something... maybe something a little less cyan in its hue, but the maybe something like a purple, I think, is, or as someone said, an orange. Okay, the 216s get their missiles away and now start to pick up that all-important speed. They will need to dodge the volleys that are coming in from there. One of the Cyclones is gone already, and so is one of the 216s. The missile spamming tactic claims another victim. But will it be enough? Can these 216s make it 2 kills? So make it 2 wins in the rounds they've been fighting. The Cyclone seems to have it on the ropes slightly. Oh! The 216s manage a kill, but sadly lose the fight overall. Let's move on. Overall thoughts on the 216 2020 then, please, people. Where are we? FAS pre. And so we move on to our 5th craft, the KX-42-3 Inquisitor. And as is becoming traditional by this point, we are going to start by correcting the spring dampers on my Cyclones. That looks better. Yes, the Inquisitor. It's an interesting looking drone. This one comes from Airlick. I'm not sure you could actually do that, but never mind. Let's get all these engines on. Let's get this quick saved. Hang on, let me just... I'm going to look through the comments quickly. Let down by a lack of countermeasures. Intestinal fortitude. Okay, we now have purple. Good stuff. It goes for the GAU-8s. It's going to be interesting. Now this does have ECM jammers, so I'm going to have to be careful to switch those on every time. Let me just... I don't think we'll waste any time. I think we'll get this one straight into the air. Hang on. Did I wait too long? Did I wait too long? It doesn't have electricity. Yeah. Did I F5 that? Oh, please tell me I F5'd that. How are we doing? 20 to 9. No, I did not F5 that. Sodding hell. Right. Has the Archer gone yet? No, the Archer is going to be going up last. I say last. I'll have to go back and do the Gladiuses. So penultimately, really, 22 concurrent views. Thank you very much, everybody who's watching. Right, I'm just going to F5 it as things stands. Oh, and now they're sodding. Ah! Just doing the front one does seem to just deal with the all of the bouncing. So we're just going to do that. There we go. Now we are going to F5. So these Inquisitors, are they a bit power hungry once you turn them on? Yeah, I think I'll make sure infinite electricity is still on. Now let's F5 it. Right. So a little behind schedule, but let's get this going. Take off pretty nicely. So our first GAW8 of the competition. I'll be very interested to see how this gets on. Gee, that was a bit close. I don't know if anybody's watched Scott Manley's videos, but GAW8's runway project videos, the most recent one he actually put up on his YouTube channel, a highlights video. Yeah, GAW8's used to some phenomenal effect there. You even get to see our very own XD the Great in action. I say our very own, he's his own person, really. Missiles. Oh, the ECM jammers are online automatically. Well, that's a relief. Missiles going back and forth. With 2 missiles per target, as is traditional. Explosions happening behind us. No damage, though. Yep. No damage to either side just yet. Second volley is going in. Can we still send crafts? MHD, I have just featured your craft. And it is one craft per person per series, I'm afraid. So that's it for the time being. Although we were discussing what's going to be happening after this series has has finished. Still missiles going back and forth. These craft haven't done a phenomenal job of closing the distance. That might be deadly. I don't know what this craft was thinking. It just... And that's the other Inquisitor just blown out of the sky. This Inquisitor seemed to just lose interest and power down for a second. And that is going to cause it some problems. Doesn't seem to be any major damage at the moment. Now we might see the GAU-8. No. The Inquisitor's having to take evasive action. Because both of the Cyclones are coming in. That's a shame. This is a really nice craft. I don't know what was happening to it there. It just seemed to just pull off the throttle and almost fly into the missile. How did that live? That was, well, I mean, it lived through the first missile, but not the second. Oh, it's almost doing a bit of a drift. It's an interesting looking craft, I'll give it that. As more bits fall towards the ground. And the Cyclones look to be, yes, unharmed. Not an ideal start for the Inquisitors, but then we've seen a few unideal starts. And we've seen plenty of craft bounce back from that. Split-second pop shots. I'm just going to check on something very quickly. Okay. Right, so take 2. Checking that the ECM jammers are on. Yep, we're all good. How long has this stream since? We've been going. My indicator says an hour and 48 minutes. And the competition starts. Yeah, a bit of a weird performance from the Inquisitors in that first one. Very interesting to see how they come back from that. They start dodging. I'm not sure if it's just an idle speed or a combat speed setting that might be a little unideal. They do appear to have some super maneuverability there that might not be. That is one of the Cyclones gone to a missile kill. It's now 2 on 1. Maybe these Inquisitors can pull it back. Missiles are plenty coming in for Daphne Kerman. That one was quite close. She's going to need to get a bit more side on to avoid anything else that's coming in. Gets 2 away of her own. Might be a bit too face onto that one. Yes! Is much too face onto that one. And the Inquisitors get their first victory. Still no sign of those GAU-8s lighting up, which I think is what we're all waiting for. But we'll move on. And as I think I will do the third fight, as I have done in previous plays, I think I will do the third one from the perspective of the Cyclones, just so we can get a look, see what it's like from the other perspective. Keep an eye on it, make sure there's no friendly booping before the fight starts properly. No. Okay. 7.5 kilometers. Any second now. Here we go. Jebediah gets his two away. Daffy has done likewise. And everybody starts breaking low for the return volley. Jebediah Kerman, no real difficulty getting past those. Has a second volley incoming. Both Inquisitors targeting Jebediah for that first one. Have to come around quickly, otherwise might be a bit too tail on to avoid missiles coming his way, and might end up getting a bit split from Daffy, which we've seen a couple of times today already is not tactically a good way to go. Jebediah gets away. Still got a couple of AMRAAMs actually. That looks like that went very close. I think everybody's flying and perfectly intact. No! One of the Inquisitors has had its engines shot off. I say shot off, blown off. So we are down to just the one healthy Inquisitor now. It doesn't look like today is going to be the day for the... I thought, did one of the Cyclones get a hit? Yes, one of the Cyclones has been badly damaged. I was about to say, I don't think this will be the fight where we see the GAU 8, but it may just still be the healthy Cyclone just flying in there. Sidewinders armed. Daffy Kerman loses her last missile. It doesn't look like that's going to do anything. It's a bit of a... Is that a joust? No. Daffy Kerman is just on the tail of this Inquisitor. We'll have to see how tight a turn it can pull. It can pull a very tight turn. Those GAU 8s fire up, but only momentarily. Wow, this thing can turn hard. And now it just has to line up that shot. Daffy Kerman could be in some trouble. Take some damage. Disappears from the vessel switcher. And that is a second victory for the Inquisitors. You build around the GAU 8. That was a nice little GAU 8 kill there. "24 concurrent viewers, 17 likes. Thank you so very much to everybody who's watching. Fantastic stuff. Getting very close to 700 subscribers now. So yes, our fourth fight with the Inquisitors. Let's get this one going. And once again, we'll check the ECM jammer is working. It is indeed. At the moment, it's looking like... Eep! Okay, that was fine. It's looking like 6 craft per preliminary is probably the best way to go. Cyclones, yeah, the Cyclones didn't clip each other either. the 600 to 700 subs went really quick. It went, yeah, it did go pretty quickly. The Inquisitors loose their first volley. I'm not sure if anyone's a fan of sort of classic British sitcoms. If there's a Red Dwarf fan out there, but the episode with the Inquisitor was always one of my favourites. A good craft. Oh, one of the Cyclones gone. One of the Cyclones gone already. Maybe a little unstable, this craft, but it's managing to get the job done when it counts. The other Inquisitor just avoiding missiles for the moment. If it can do that, then things are looking bad for the Cyclone. The Cyclone still has these craft at kind of arm's length. And if it can do that, if it can avoid dying to missiles, and it can perhaps get a lucky missile kill itself, then maybe something will happen here. But at the moment, it looks like it's not looking like good news, let's put it that way. Oh, but that looks like some significant damage. That is one of the Inquisitors basically taken out. Let's just hope for Daffy's sake that that crippled Inquisitor doesn't distract her. It looks like it might be at the moment, which is not what you want when you've got a Gau-8 armed craft on your tail. Daffy Cohen is going to have to pull some pretty damn good manoeuvres here. Otherwise it is going to be curtains. Still has all control surfaces. Still has a few sidewinders. Not sure how much help those are going to be at the moment. Can she pull something out of the bag? Those Inquisitors, unstable though they may be, certainly have the manoeuvrability. And making it count at the moment, getting very close. Those short Gau-8 boat bursts not coming to anything at the moment. This might be an opportunity though. Who's going to be the first to take it? Not Daffy apparently. Now comes around. Lines up a Sidewinder. Pretty ideal range for it as well. Lets loose with the guns. Gets the kill. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you use Sidewinders. One final fight then for the Inquisitors. And then we move on to the Archer. No more reaction. No reaction. Someone was so shamelessly promoting the stream. Oh, bless you guys, bless you. Okay, one last fight for the Inquisitors. Let's not waste any time, and let's just double check. ECM jammers have turned on, they have. Not too steady taking off there, but does mean one of them lags a bit behind. Avoids any potential collision there. No friendly booping this time around. So that's 2 wins, 2 losses, 5 kills and 5 deaths for the Inquisitor. What will happen in this final fight for it? This Inquisitor, I think, only managed to get one of its... No, there goes the second AMRAAM. Thought it only got one away for a second. Another game of missile tennis. Will we get an early kill? This Inquisitor looks like it's managed to shake both the missiles coming for it. Likewise with the other Inquisitor. Cyclones don't seem to have come to any harm either. Inquisitors get their second volley away quickly. But the Cyclones get theirs away as well. That's one of the Cyclones gone. It's now 2-on-1. Then again, it was like this early on in the... Was it... Did the Cyclones go down to 1 early on in the second fight? I think that's what happened. In all the excitement, it has completely escaped me. I'm just sat here going, ooh, explosions at the moment. And that is the other Cyclone heavily damaged. It looks like one of the Inquisitors might have been damaged as well. Not significantly by the looks of things. Oh, and... Jebediah Kerman. Yeah, curtains for you, matey boy. A good win for the Inquisitors. And Jebediah Kerman, sadly, is not walking away from that. On to our final craft. I say the final craft, I am going to have to redo the first one. I'm still undecided as to whether or not will continue to stream that or not. But for our last one, the one we've all been waiting for, the one I've been waiting for. Dunamus's MRI-2 Archer Mark 1. I'll see you later, Ghost. See you later, MHD. Hello, Diamond Goat. People coming and going all the time. Good to have you here. Good to have seen you, Ghost and MHD. Good to see you, Diamond Goat. Yes, Season 1 champion. And as it's almost a good luck ritual by this point, we start by fixing the spring damping on the Cyclones. That's done it. Okay. Yes, so another drone here. Dunamus, of course, champion of Season 1. Missed out by a hair's breadth on a place in the finals in Season 2. Let's see what these can do then. Let's get everything started. Let's quick save it there. Let's double check. ECM jammer does not auto turn on by the looks of things. It might be tied to the launch. Let's get these into the air. No, it is not. I'm going to have to turn these on manually. Hang on, did that one come on automatically? Okay, that was weird. Am I seeing things? It looks like it kept turning itself on and off. I don't know. Let's get rid of you. They're on. They're on now. Let's just leave it at that. Now, as opposed to MHD's craft, Dunamus's craft obviously trying to fly as high as possible. Be interesting to see how that affects things. It is a lovely looking craft, quite boxy. Swings around. And I panicked. Get into a panic as I count the missiles to make sure there aren't too many. Missiles away for the archers. Looks like the return... Is the return volley coming in? from the Cyclones. Well, the archers are popping countermeasures, so I assume it must be. Yep, there goes one. And it looks like the Cyclones have managed to avoid that first volley as well. This archer coming around. This archer lighting up with those guns. This has all happened so quickly. I'm just trying to make notes. Look at all that. The Cyclone takes some damage. It doesn't look like it was fatal. Yeah, looks just like some superficial damage for the moment. But a few bullet holes on it. What was that? That was one of the Cyclones. Jebediah Kerbal is not looking in a good way. It's effectively 2v1 now. Daffy Kerbal is going to have to pull off a minor miracle if the Cyclones are to come out of this with any of their dignity intact. The guns of the archer lighting up. Not quite managing to do the damage for the moment. Daffy Kerbal trying her hardest to pull some evasive manoeuvres. That other Cyclone seems to be distracting that other archer for the moment. But not for too much longer, surely. Though that gunfire coming very close, can't quite find the mark for the moment. Still Daffy Kerbal. It's a turning battle at the moment. Oh! But that other archer comes in. Gets the kill. Daffy Kerbal there locked in a death struggle with one of the archers, and the other one just comes in and pings a missile at her. Bad luck, Daffy. Slap to eat it for lunch. Ooh, we've got some trash talking going in the chat. We've got some trash talking going in the chat. Any thoughts on the craft so far, guys? No point in hanging around. Let's get this second one going as soon as we can. I just want to... Yeah, the ECM jammers have turned on by themselves. Okay. And the Cyclones are taking off all right. Okay, let's sit back and enjoy this second fight. Any comments on the design, the general aesthetics and all that of them? I mean, it wouldn't be a Dunamoose craft if there wasn't some kind of wing box, as we can see here, the over and under wing, which meets at a point. You know, a far cry from the Liberator Mark IIIs, which won the first season. Missiles away then. Popping chaff, breaking low. Problem is that I don't use AMRAAMs. Turbo Cat from SWAT Cats. A lot of explosions, all for nothing at the moment though. This archer looses its second volley. Getting close to one of those Cyclones, but nothing doing at the moment. More weapons go in. Why has this one turned off its ECM jammer? One of the cyclones is out. One of the cyclones destroyed. 2v1. Daffy Kerman. Once again, Daffy Kerman. We'll be hoping for a quick revenge kill. Otherwise, this is going to get very difficult for her. Launching missile after missile. It might not be enough, although that is a very good hit on one of the archers. Does not look like the damage was fatal, though. It was the other archer that got the... looks to have lost its guns. So I think it might effectively be 1v1 at the moment if Daffy Kerman can keep her head, avoid the gunfire coming in, which is easier said than done at the moment. Daffy Kerman still does have a couple of sidewinders left. One of the archers appears to have broken off for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but it does give Daffy the opportunity to turn around and get some of her own heat seekers away. Has missiles incoming though. We'll try to avoid them. Was that another missile taking out a missile? We had a lot of that during the last stream. This archer, both of them still flying. Although this has got no weapons. Gets hit by another missile. Daffy Kerman still keeping them coming in. That might be a bad choice though, if Daffy Kerman is basically putting all of her attention into the doomed archer instead of this one. The healthy archer breaks off the attack. I don't know what Daffy Kerman is doing here. Perhaps trying to close the distance. No missiles remaining. Is distracted by that unhealthy cyclone, but so that unhealthy archer, but may get the opportunity to get some guns away. At the moment, why are we showing no ammo left? We have infinite ammo on. Oh, do I need to save and close? Huh. That's weird. It's a draw. Oh no, now they've got guns. Both have selected their Vulcans, but Daffy Kerman... It was looking good for Daffy. It was looking good for the Cyclones at one point. Oh, that archer has broken off a little bit. If Daffy Kerman can come about, might be able to get some guns in. Oh, does some damage as well. Doesn't quite have the manoeuvrability of the archer, but if she can just make the shots she can get count. Can't quite pull over hard enough. That archer, we're into a bit of a turning competition, and I think the archer will come off better from that. Although not quite. Daffy Kerman still just about managing to get some shots away. Has taken a little bit of damage, does not look to be anything... Oh, lost a bit of a wing surface. Lost part of that lower wing, lower half of that wing box there. This is not looking like it's going to be over as quickly as that previous fight was. Now though, this archer, guns blazing, going in. I can't quite get them to hit. God, this fight's been going on a while. I mean, it's about the time you'd expect for like a 3v3, but for a 2v2, this is years by comparison. How's the broken archer doing? How are we doing for fuel? It's not going to be long before we run out. Daffy Kerman trying to come around, trying desperately to get guns into that archer before the inevitable happens. One archer runs out of fuel. Other archer still going. Daffy Kerman still going. It's looking like it may have to go to judge's decision. Daffy Kerman, though, might get guns away. Although the other archer might be able to come in and finish it. Who knows? Out of fuel. If that other archer can just make its fuel count for a little bit longer. They're going hard with all afterburners. That's probably not the best way to conserve that. 10 units. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. We'll try and come hard over. Can't quite line up the shot, can it? Getting close though. I think I have to give this one to the archers. Oh, this has disappeared off the vessel switcher, so yeah, that's a definite one for the archers. The other craft was sort of disabled, so we'll count that as a kill for the Cyclones. I don't think they're going to get many here. Can you be a champ and move radar warning receiver to the right a bit? I'll see what I can do. So close. So 2 fights down for the archers. 1 convincing kill. 1 kill where they got there in the end. God, this is being slow to load. I think maybe the part counts are a little higher than we're used to. Right. 3rd fight. I will watch this from the Cyclone's vantage point. Yeah, see, the ECM jammer is on here. Now it's off. Okay, let's put it on again. That's a little odd. I'm not sure if there's something to do with the gear up. If Dunamoose, if you're watching, maybe something to look into there. Radar warning receiver. Okay, once that pops up, I'll move that to the right a bit. Competition starting, everyone pulls hard around. move that to the right a bit. Tell me if that's okay. So you can see the green bars of fuel and weapon overheats. I see. Jebediah Kerman here, breaking low. Missiles streaming in. Will manage to avoid them all though. Selects the AMRAAMs again. Pulls around. Will you get that second volley away? Doesn't seem to be in too much of a hurry though. There we go. One AMRAAM, two AMRAAMs. Oh, getting very close to that archer. Getting a damaging hit as well. And I think for the second time today, the archer has been stripped of its Vulcans. So I think we might be in for another long fight. Because the thing is, these are just, they're ridiculously fast and manoeuvrable. So even when you've got a duff one that's half dead, it's still pretty difficult to take it out of the air. Ah, dear. Oh, that's one of the Cyclones gone. I didn't see that. I'm assuming that's a missile kill. It's 1v1 then. Does this other... It still has missiles left. And it has used them to good effect as the other Cyclone is just torn from the skies. Okay, on to the fourth fight. How's everybody enjoying this so far? Have I lost comments again? Somebody say something in the old No, we have not lost comments. Thank you, Elias. I'm going to watch what happens with the ECM jammers here as we start the fourth competition. Okay, ECM jammer turns on. And then it turns off with the gear. Interesting. The Archer's already at 2,000 meters. Cyclones, yeah. These things are awesome. They are pretty awesome. The competition starts again. One volley of missiles goes in. I think the Cyclones managed to get theirs away as well, although this archer is not breaking at all. I think it was just the one successful volley from the Cyclones. This archer just closing the distance so rapidly. Definitely a sort of a speed and power approach here. Has closed the distance, surely before too long will be going with its guns. Fires a Sidewinder. Doesn't seem to have done much. The other Cyclone now in trouble as the other archer is trying to bring guns to bear, as is this one at the same time. Bad news for whoever's flying that. Oh, that's a lot of gunfire. Surely that is a lot of damage as well. Has lost both air intakes. Jebediah Kerman will now at best drift helplessly towards the ground. Does manage to get a Sidewinder away, but it doesn't manage to do anything. Our one remaining healthy Cyclone, Daffy Kerman. Daffy Kerman! Always the last remaining craft. As gunfire rains in on Jebediah. Surely a sitting duck here. Missing one of the canards as well. Now Daffy Kerman's in trouble. Does manage to get a missile away though. Popped an AMRAAM at the other archer, but it doesn't do anything at all. Still going in for that one remaining cycle. Oh, that's a sitting duck. Come on. You've got to kill that. If you can't kill that, then something is not going right for you. That's one of the archers. That's this Cyclone out of here. Yeah, that's a bit of damage on that archer. Lost 2 engines. Will have nowhere near the power it had previously. Daffy Kerman may be able to come in, but no, I think she's going after the one healthy archer. It's a bit of a joust, but it looks like she broke off a little early, and that might prove fatal. Okay for the moment, though. Tries to come about. Still 2 Sidewinders left. If she can actually bring them to bear. Both archers opening up on her at the moment. One bringing the guns to bear at the moment, the other one will surely open up in a second. There we go. A tiniest of smatterings on the rear of her craft, but Daffy Kerman is still flying. Braking very low at the moment. What can she do now? If she can bring a Sidewinder to bear on, say, that archer, that might be just the trick. Comes around, has indeed selected the Sidewinder. Is having to dodge a missile herself though. That looks a little close, doesn't do anything. The gunfire is raining in. Do the archers have any more missiles remaining? This one's got some Sidewinders. This one has a couple of Sidewinders left as well. The injured archer though going for the Vulcans. As Daffy Kerman does manage to get a Sidewinder away and does a lot of damage to that other archer. Knocking it out completely. Okay, now we have a competition. Other archer though might be a little unsteady in the shot, with it just that one offset engine pulling it to the side. Daffy Kerman does still have that one Sidewinder left. If she can bring it about, if she can turn it around. We still have infinite ammo on, don't we? Yes. Gets a smattering across the wings. Has not done her any harm for the moment. As this archer well makes something of a landing of it. Daffy Kerman is indeed trying to bring that last Sidewinder to bear. Oh, and that has done a lot of damage, and but the Cyclone is taken out at the same time. It's a simultaneous kill and the archer is still going. These are long fights. Okay, the final fight for the archers, and then we are going to have to get back. I think we will have enough time to redo the gladiuses. Yeah, do not underestimate the cyclone. Okay then, for one final time, the archers may be the first craft to make it 5 wins out of 5. Let's get them into the air. Once again, gonna make sure the ECM jammer is remains on. Okay. Skip the fact of the stream. What's the fact of the stream? Okay, everybody comes about. Gets their missiles away. Doesn't look like the Cyclones get. I don't think the Cyclones got their missiles away. This could be brutally short. Looks like they've all dodged their missiles though. It's gun range already. It's one of the Cyclones very heavily damaged. One of the Cyclones out of there. Daffy Kerman. Once again, it's Daffy Kerman. Oh, poor Daffy. Dutch have made a whole province out of nothing but sea. And now the surrounding sea is a lake. Sorry, I missed that. DRS gamer. There goes the cyclone crashing into the sea, and there! Cyclone crashing into the ground, and there goes the other cyclone. Just relentless brutality from the archers. Just trying to finish off what little remains of the cyclone. I do like that fact. I do. I was aware of vaguely aware of the Dutch and their land reclamation efforts. It seems split the craft tactic does not work. Not about the Dutch. Right, so we have to go redo the gladiuses. Or gladii, or gladiolas, whatever you want to. So what have we got? We've been going. We got 25 minutes until 10 o'clock. I think we can knock 5 fights out of the park before we get to 10 o'clock. I could do another fact. Why miss this part? We're redoing it because I forgot to, and as is almost ceremonial by now, I forgot to switch the ECM jammers on the Gladiuses on. So it's sort of my fault. Something I should have remembered to do because it's something I've offered to do for people. So I just... We're going to kind of, just so everything's above board, we're just going to rerun it. The Gladius is going for the 2 ECM jammer approach. The first one of these preliminary craft to have done so. Did 1-1 match and lost 4 earlier, so this will be a very interesting comparison. North America was discovered by the Vikings and they had an outpost there for some time. Ah. Ooh. I still have Easter egg. Excuse me for a second. This one's flying back and forth now. The Gladiators have got their volley away. All the Cyclones do the same. I do apologise. I mean, these are relative. Look at that speed. These are reason. That's one of the Cyclones gone. As this Gladius closes the distance. I mean, they are surprisingly powerful craft, these, for single engines. And that's the other... Oh, that was brutal. Two kills and a win. I forgot to F5, didn't I? Balls. Good English. Chocolate nom nom. Yes, very much so. By the way, nice bit. Thank you. It will be. It will be. I just... Yeah, I don't know about anyone else, but personal grooming during the lockdown has kind of taken a bit of a... kind of taken a back seat. I mean, I still shower, but, you know, doing something with my hair or trimming the beard has fallen by the wayside. And now over to the next one. Right. Okay. Zoom out a bit. Start the engine, start the engine, start the engine, start the engines. F5 it, we are quick saved, we are ready to go. Let's get this second one on. Started! Now I want chocolate. Just got to burger and ate it. Keep the beard, you look like a proper pizza man, BRB. Proper man. Oh yes. Must remember to do this. So how are we doing? 7.5 kilometers, and the competition starts. They do fly quite nicely. I do think they've got quite a nice mix of, you know, stability and manoeuvrability, these craft. Same with the F-15s from earlier. The F-15s were very nice to fly when I did sort of test flights earlier today. Oh, of course the Cyclones can't get their missiles off. These have got 2 ECM jammers. So they have to get much closer before they can get a lock. The Gladius is going in hard with Sidewinders though. It might be a little too close, a little too far away, but now the guns start. And that is one of the Cyclones blown brutally out of the air. Jebediah Kerman, though, may have the opportunity to... Not really. We'll surely have to switch to guns before too long. That other Cyclone is distracting the Gladiuses, though. Now Jebediah Kerman can come in, perhaps do a little bit of damage with the guns. Has to break off as the ground's getting a little close, but now surely. Oh, that was a golden opportunity. Sadly not taken. They have not launched any missiles. I haven't seen that before. I have done test fights with craft with 2 ECM jammers, and you could still get missiles away at them. But it seems at the moment the Cyclones are having real difficulty doing so. That's getting very close. Nothing doing for the moment. Get scorched. I don't know if ECM jammers have had a change in between 1.7 and 1.9. But not a single missile. What will you do if you still have time after these planes? I don't think I'm going to. I mean, it's 1:45 and I was going to have to end the stream at 10 o'clock anyway. Just wait till they're officially tuned. Fair enough. More damage. A proper scorching there. Jebediah breaking very low. That could be problematic, but I think he's just gonna get away with it. Missing a control surface, missing quite a lot else. Can you mount the missiles? If you want to mount the missiles backwards, yeah, feel free. Anybody got any input on the ECM jammers? Because this does seem a little bit ridiculous. If you can't use missiles against a craft with 2 ECM jammers, yeah, exactly. You can. If you just can't use missiles against a craft with 2 ECM jammers, then I think that might have to be. I might have to very quickly introduce a rule saying 1 only, and then I'll have to do this off camera. Jebediah Kerman crashes into the ground. Yeah, I know you use Sidewinders, but I mean, is this what I can expect from 1.9 with the effect of 2 ECM jammers? Because if it is, it will need an urgent looking at. Okay, 2 fights gone so far. Is that 1.9 project velocity? That's weird then. This seems like a fluke to me. I mean, if that's everyone's experiences of 1.9, then I maybe don't need to... Yeah, okay. Maybe just a lucky fight then. But next fight we will be looking at things from the Cyclone's perspective, so maybe give us a quick look at how things are going. Ghosty's gone orange. Let's get this going then. Yeah, I do want to take a look at this and see just how they're doing things here. I was interested in the Cyclone. Sorry, the missile. Hang on. Ah, they were over friendly with the boop. Those drones are low radar signature to begin with. Yeah. I'm not sure what the part count is like on these, because it seems this one particularly is taking a while to load. And I see we already have 7 people using the new colours on the Discord. Legged Lax gone for the purple, Ghosty for the orange, DRS Gamer for the black. I'm going to need to use the vessel switcher because I'm going to need to turn these ECM jammers on, aren't I? So let's just stick with these for the moment. And just check they don't boop again. You gonna go for a mid-air cuddle again? No, you're okay. Good stuff. Ooh, neither are you, but it was close. How are we doing? 7 kilometers. 7.5. And the competition starts. Okay. Both turn around hard. See, there's no inclination at all to get the missiles away. Selecting the AIM-120, but it doesn't seem to... Okay, closing range now. Now they get the missiles away. Oh, but not before they take one to the face themselves. Jebediah Kerman this time. Not Daffy Kerman for once. Still with a full load of missiles. That's making it very heavy. Gets a smattering, loses most of those missiles. Still has most of the rest of his stuff though. It's going to make the craft very, very one-sided. Heavy on one side. Oh, gunfire comes in. Loses a wing. One of the Gladiuses takes damage from its own wingman. That gunfire is getting very close now. I'm not sure Jebediah Kerman will be able to pull out of this if he's if he's not careful. Gets into a bit of a spin. Looks like that's the end of him. And the remainder of the other Cyclone is still helicoptering to the ground. If both these next fights are the same, I think I'm going to have to put up an emergency rule saying 1 ECM jammer max and do this again off camera. Cyclone F2A. Cyclone is my baby. Because at the moment it just feels... if they're that overpowered in the fights, then it's... I'll do the rest of them the same way, and then we'll see what happens. The Gladius just turns quicker on the initial volley. It's. I mean, the Cyclones had the opportunity to get a volley away, but they just didn't, which is making me worry about the power of, you know, the dual ECM jammers. Yeah, I mean, they're quite low radar cross section anyway, but I mean, this is just it's almost like they're immune to missiles, and they're winning the fights basically because they're immune to the AMRAAMs. I mean, they're well designed craft, but you know, they've managed to sort of like knock a craft out without being bothered themselves. Any missiles coming in, like there goes one of the Cyclones. I mean, there's a missile coming in there, that's very close. But I mean, that's the first one. Yeah, they've launched... Cyclones managed to launch one AMRAAM between them. So whilst it's a well-designed craft, it's not winning because it's a well-designed craft, it's winning because it's got 2 ECM jammers. As I said, regardless, we'll carry on for the moment. If it's an exact repeat that second time, I think we'll have to... I'll have to issue an emergency ruling. Well, we saw them earlier. What happens when the jammers are turned off? And it was 1-1, lost 4, 4 kills, 9 deaths. As I said, I mean, no disrespect no disrespect to Kelvis, because they are, I do like them as craft. But we'll do this one. It was the same result. I'm going to go. We should have enough time just to test to see what happens if you just do it with one ECM jammer on. If it's the same with just one ECM jammer, I think, you know, you have to turn around and say, okay, fair enough, it's just something inherent to the design of the aircraft. But if this is happening because it's got two ECM jammers, then I think we may have to look at that. Let's see how this one goes, though. Yeah. You see, it got something there for a second, but it decided not to. And I don't think it's simply a case of it just being on the back foot too much. More missiles coming in. But as I said, also on my mind is what happened when we didn't have any ECM jammers on, and then it was such a different kettle of fish that I think this is going to be hard. Ow! And the Cyclone gets one missile away. That's gotta hurt. Yeah, that's taken out. It's taken out that Gladius. This Gladius, though, coming in with Vulcans. Daffy Kerman having to pull some hard evasive manoeuvres. That's gotta hurt. Yeah, disappeared off the vessel switcher. So we'll count that as a kill. But the Gladius is... Okay, one last fight for the stream, and I think we are going to do that experiment. Okay. Let's see what happens when we just turn on the one. And let's look at this from the point of view of the Cyclones. I mean, the whole point of the rules is just to stop one particular tactic from being so ridiculously powerful that everyone does it. And so... Well, we'll see. Okay, they're coming about. They've got the AMRAAMs A engaged. Okay, are they going to come about and try and launch something now? Jebediah the Crafter in the other direction, you plank. Are you going to try and launch it? You see they can do better there. It's not quite so one-sided. There's some debris. And that Gladius is definitely out of here. The other one though... Jebediah just trying to finish that one off. Ah, the other Cyclone in a bit more bother though. Missile incoming. No, that was a missile incoming for the other Gladius. Everyone's just going to pile into what remains. I hear what everyone's saying here. It is a tricky decision. Anyway. Yeah, if you limit too much, you will end up with the F1 problem. Exactly. I'll have to do some more testing. We'll come to a decision later. Okay, but anyway, I really should knock this stream on the head because it's been going for absolutely ages now. Penalty on the scoreboard. Okay, sideline is the Tiger Engines and normal craft will wreck you. That's true, that's true. I mean, it could just be, I could penalise 2 ECM jammers when it comes to making the decision. That might be one way to do it. Hello. What I'm going to do is take a look at some other craft that have got 2 ECM jammers and see what we make of that. But I'm going to have to end the stream here because 10 o'clock. Yeah, people are going to want to start going to bed soon. So is way stealthier than this one only uses one ECM. You never know what everyone else will make. You saw the archer fight. Yeah, that's it's a brutal craft you've got there. I got out of bed early for this. This is true, this is true. I'll see. I'll do some testing. We'll see what happens. Back to sleep. Well, is it based just on size and radar output? I think it's based, yeah, I think it's sort of, it's not really that great a simulation of stealth. It's to do with cross-section and what have you. Brought in GAW 8 to increase weight and penalise myself. Yeah, and let's be honest, because the GAW 8 is just, well, it's a GAW 8. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna have to draw things to a close here. Thank you so very much. Certainly the most concurrent viewers we've had on the stream, the most likes we've had on the stream whilst it's been live. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much to everybody who's come along. Thank you very much to everybody who sent in a craft. Yes, I'll do a bit of testing on this. We'll see what happens, and if I need to go and redo the Gladius off camera, I will do. But yeah, I won't rush into a decision here. More streams. There will be more streams coming very soon. Yeah, glad you enjoyed it. But for the moment, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.